I took the residency this summer to make up for the shows I canceled at Uncle Vinny's. I want to be a man of my word. I did the shows, and I booked the New York shows to lift me a little bit. You know, sometimes I don't do this often, and I don't want you guys to do it often. I don't recommend it. But every once in a while, just to light a fire under your ass, you got to play big. You know, it's like my daughter plays in, 8 to 10 or some shit. She could move to a different division, but we wanted her to play with better people around her. And she would be not as talented as the other players. So we played her for the 10-year-olds. So when she was 9, she was really playing a 10-year-old league with 10-year-olds, bigger girls, and she didn't do as well, but she learned the game a lot better. Sometimes you have to do that to fucking see what you're about, you know. I was watching, what's that movie with Marky Wahlberg where he takes over for, it's like Judas Priest, the guy's gay, Rockstar. Rockstar is a great movie. Marky Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston did a great job. But even a situation like that where you're a cover singer in a band. You're just a cover singer in a band. A band that does weddings, you know, bar mitzvahs. They do a bar from time to time. So maybe 250 is what they're used to playing for. And then one day you got a call. Fucking, you're the Chinese guy from Journey. You sound just like Stephen, whatever his name is, Perry. Right? His name is Stephen Perry, the singer from Journey, whatever. And you get the call. You know, now you're not performing in front of 250 people no more. You're performing with fucking 20,000 people a fucking night. You're not ready. You know how people like, you're not ready? You're not ready, but you are ready. Do you know what I'm saying? You aren't ready, but you are ready. You just don't fucking know it. And yeah, you might eat a bag of dicks the first night. Who doesn't? Even Marky Wahlberg ate a bag of dicks in the movie. Remember he fell off the stage and he cut his eye and shit like that? He didn't know what the fuck he was. It's a different, but when you get there, you'll adjust quickly. Like, you'll fucking adjust. Like, I even noticed with me, Hollis gave me the blue belt. I didn't feel like a blue belt. I still don't feel like a fucking blue belt. But it upped my game. I have noticed some improvements since I've gotten the belt, because now I'm lifting you up. You know, when I was a comic, I would never try to headline. It was just not good for Uncle Joey, the headline. I was a very good feature, but even when I was at my top of featuring all those years for Rogan, I stayed away from headlining. I just stayed, I never felt ready for it, and I was okay with that. There's some comics that they do 2 spots, and I'm a headliner. Okay, you know, find out for yourself what the fuck you are. I'm not a fucking headliner after 2 spots. So I was a great feature, but I didn't like fucking headlining. I didn't know I was a headliner. Guess what? I started calling clubs, and they're like, we're booking you as a headliner. I'm like, that's fucking $800 more if you're on the basic plan. And I would go, oof, I don't want a fucking headline. And they go, why not, Joey? You know, headline. Okay. And I'd expect to never get hired again. And then after the weekend, I talked to the guy, and he'd go, Joey, you did a great job. Considering what you were telling me on the phone, you did a great fucking job. You know, you may not feel like a headliner, but you're playing above your head now. And I remember, like, the headline, you got to have 45 minutes. I would have, like, 38. So you got to stretch. You got to sing a song somewhere in the middle. You got to tap dance. You got to hope somebody gets drunk. You got to hope somebody pukes. You know, I still remember going to Jacksonville, Florida in 1998. Talk about not being ready. I had gotten to L.A. I was at the store. I had met some fucking comics. And Jimmy Schubert was one of my great friends. We still are great friends. I love Jimmy. Hopefully I'll see him next week when he's in Philly. Jimmy called me one night, like on a fucking Monday night. He's like, hey, man, I got a big problem. I just booked a movie, and I got to work tomorrow. And but I started a week in Jacksonville for creative entertainment. And I was like, he goes, you want to cover the week? He goes, I already talked to them. They said if you could do it, you could get on there. He goes, there's a red eye tonight, or there's a 6 a.m. tomorrow morning that'll get you there. And I was like, fuck it. I'll book the fucking red eye. I'll book the morning one. That was when Cheap Tickets was big then. There was a company called Cheap Tickets, $200 and under. That was there. And for a lot of you guys don't remember this company. It was the original. They would guarantee you, one day, $200 flight on any flight. They would get you a flight for $200. So I fucking took the flight down to Jacksonville, Florida. I'd never been there. I expected just to go to like Miami. I thought Jacksonville was like Miami, but I was excited to go to Jacksonville because it's the home of Leonard Skinner and all those motherfuckers up there. So I'm like, I'll go walk down there and walk around the streets. I get to the hotel the first night. Oh my God. When I went to headline that night, it was a fucking disaster. I went back to my room. I cried a little bit. I went over my material. I went back Wednesday night, and I bombed even harder than Tuesday night. And that was the schedule for the rest of the fucking week. I just kept bombing and bombing and bombing. I would get them for 25 minutes. I would get them for 20 minutes, and then bomb for 25. I would get them for 20. It was just not good. I even went and talked to the manager and asked them if they wanted me to leave. I was like, do you want me to leave? And the guy's like, I'm having a good time watching you because you're just bombing. He goes, I'm just dying of watching you bombing. I'm like, that's not that fucking encouraging, But that weekend left me fucking mummified. Like, I went on the plane, I cried, because I thought the word was going to get out. Joey Diaz just stunk it up in Jacksonville. Like the word got out. Don't ever headline them again. No, they called like 2 weeks later, Creative Entertainment, who I had done the week for at the time, and said, you got a great reference. Do you want to do more work for us? I'm like, sure. Okay. It was great. Okay. But my point is that weekend gave me more knowledge than, like, I still remember it. I'm talking to you guys about 19 a week. Now, this is when comedy was comedy. This is when comedy was Tuesday through Sunday.